Not only did they have the potential to grow immeasurably powerful, but they both had rare mentalities that were far from normal. He feared that he may have just awoken two terrible monsters. Hey, what's up everybody? It's LeeLos, and today we're talking about why Bisky Kruger is overpowered. Stay steady in pursuit of your dreams and goals. You're born to win, you're made for greatness, and I definitely believe in you guys. Keep up the great work each and every day. So, Bisky Kruger is a character so strong that she's on par with some of the strongest hunters in the Hunter x Hunter verse, and she played a huge role in helping Gon and Killua go from rookies in Nen combat to actual monsters. Today we're going to analyze every single power-up and ability this legendary monster has displayed to figure out overall just how powerful is Bisky compared to the rest of the Hunter x Hunter world. After spending several months doing nothing but training and gaining battle experience in Heaven's Arena, Gon and Killua develop Hatsu abilities and enter Greed Island stronger than they've ever been before. Soon after entering Greed Island, they encounter a blacklist hunter named Beanault. Beanault was so powerful that Bisky states that he's strong enough to kill Gon and Killua by himself. Despite Beanault's insane strength, Bisky proceeds to absolutely low diff decimate him in just one attack, without even using her true form. Gon and Killua state Bisky was so fast that they couldn't even see Bisky's movements until Beanault was upside down in the air, and there's a possibility that she wasn't even using Nen, meaning her true power, even in the suppressed state, would be far greater than this. Bisky then takes the role as Gon and Killua's Nen master, and Bisky proves herself to be one of the greatest and most effective teachers, not just in Hunter x Hunter, but debatably in all of shonen history. Bisky first gives Gon and Killua the task of defeating Beanault within 2 weeks' time. This life or death training right from the very beginning forces Gon and Killua to grow considerably more powerful. Instead of taking 2 weeks for both of them to defeat injured Beanault working together, Gon and Killua both grow so strong that they defeat full power healthy Beanault 1v1 in just 10 days. This is where Bisky truly witnesses the terrifying potential of Gon and Killua for the first time, and her reaction to their learning speed is in stark contrast to their previous Nen instructor Wing. When Wing saw Gon and Killua's insane potential, he responded with fear and concern on multiple occasions. Wing realized not only did they have the potential to grow immeasurably powerful, but they both had rare mentalities that were far from normal. He feared that he may have just awoken two terrible monsters. Bisky, on the other hand, saw this exact same potential and mentality, but instead of fear, she felt genuine joy at the idea of having such promising students. The amount of improvement Gon and Killua made, thanks to Bisky's instruction, is massively underrated. At the start of Greed Island, Gon's only functional Hatsu ability was Rock. He couldn't even fire paper, and it took him considerable training just to be able to cut a leaf using his Scissors Hatsu, with him only being able to successfully cut a leaf 1 out of every 10 tries. Meanwhile, Killua states his Electricity Hatsu required time to build up, and it wasn't even usable in combat yet, but after completing Bisky's training, Gon's Scissors ability became so powerful that when he battled a Chimera ant durable enough to block and survive the strength of his punches, Gon immediately chops it into 3 separate pieces with one attack. And Killua displays a Lightning Bolt and a Lightning Palm ability, 2 very powerful Hatsus for stun locking his enemies. Furthermore, Bisky teaches them Ken and Ryu. These are defensive and offensive techniques, magnitudes more powerful than simply battling using Ten like they were doing in Heaven's Arena. And she teaches them Ko, a Nen technique that alone can make the users dozens of times more powerful as well. The single-star hunter Tesgera initially viewed Gon and Killua as fodder characters, but near the end of Bisky's training, Tesgera gets outperformed by the feats of Gon and Killua numerous times over. During the battle with Genthru, we get to see Bisky's true strength for the first time. Killua states that even Genthru's minions are extremely powerful, with the minion Killua fought being stated to have more total aura than Killua did, and as a result, the minion was even stronger than Killua in terms of overall strength and defense. Despite this, Bisky proceeds to absolutely beat the the sleeves off of Genthru's minion, even while in her suppressed base form. She then states she let him get one attack on her before transforming purely out of pity, because when she goes into her true form, she usually ends up killing her opponent. The moment she transforms back into her true state, she immediately one-shot decimates Genthru's minion, a character who might have had more overall strength and defense than even Killua, showing that even after all their training on Greed Island, the gap between Gon, Killua, and Bisky is still absolutely gigantic. She could literally one-shot either of them with no problem. Furthermore, she almost guaranteed would have been able to defeat Genthru on her own as well, even without a plan. The only real question is, would she have just one-shot Genthru the same way she did his minion, or would it have taken a couple of punches? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It should also be noted that she was so powerful that she did the entire dodgeball battle against Razor while staying in her suppressed base form the entire time. The game would have went very differently if Bisky ever used her true power. During the Chimera Ant arc, Bisky trains Gon and Killua again and pushes them to even greater levels than they had achieved prior. They make more than a year's worth of progress in overall Nen endurance during their month of training with Bisky, and gain considerable battle experience from fighting Knuckle nearly every day during the month of training. Despite becoming stronger than they had ever been before, Bisky challenges Killua to a fight on the second to last day of their month of training, and she still absolutely low diffs him. All we see is the end result, where Killua was beaten up considerably while Bisky took 0 damage, meaning Bisky might have one-shot Killua in a similar manner to how she one-shot Genthru's minion, without Killua ever even being able to land a single attack. Or Killua did land attacks, but Bisky's overall aura defense was so powerful that it actually did 0 damage, then proceeded to likely one-shot Killua soon after. Bisky is genuinely an absolute monster. She's so strong that we've never once gotten to see her get even close to trying in any of her battles in Hunter x Hunter, but using her feats and some information from the databooks, we get enough information to create a low, middle, and high ball interpretation for Bisky's power. The power levels listed for true form Bisky in the databooks are genuinely insane. In overall stats, she's listed as a more powerful character than Morel and even Crollo, and her physical strength is stated to be a full tier above even Razor's, a character so strong that he could reflect the strength of Gon's rock without even taking damage. There are a few power levels listed in the databooks that are debatable, such as Tesgera being in the same tier of raw strength as Zazon, but you could just say that there's a large range in power amongst each tier. Just because two characters are ranked tier 3 out of 5 in terms of power doesn't mean that they're the exact same strength. One character could be at the bottom of tier 3 while the other could be at the top of tier 3, similar to how we see officer ants in Hunter x Hunter that are the same rank, but some say they are 10 times stronger than the others. There are some databook rankings that make a lot of sense and seem quite accurate, such as Gon and Killua's intro scores being very low during Heaven's Arena, but climbing quite high up the rankings to be amongst the medium to high level pros in the Chimera Ant arc, and staying relative to each other from Greed Island onwards, but are still both ranked below characters like Hisoka even after the end of the Chimera Ant arc. Finally, Bisky's power is even more insane when you consider she's earning all of these scores without even having a Hatsu ability that she can use for combat. Her Hatsu is completely useless in battle. It just lets you get 8 hours worth of sleep within 30 minutes and allows her to stay looking young. So really, she's one of the strongest hunters in the entire series, and she doesn't even use a Hatsu ability. Imagine just how absolutely terrifying she would be if she decided to develop a Hatsu ability for fighting. Using the databook values as a medium to high ball scale for Bisky, this would place true form Bisky as one of the strongest humans in the entire series. She'd be stronger than Crollo in overall stats and would be capable of holding her own with characters like Zeno and Silva. The lowest you could lowball true form Bisky is to say that she's on par with characters like Morel, Nove, and possibly the weakest of the Zodiac members. I personally believe somewhere in between the low to medium ball scale is actually the correct answer for Bisky's overall power. Bisky having more strength than Razor and being in the same tier of skill as Crollo actually makes a lot of sense. Throughout the entire battle against Razor, she never once states that his power was outside of her range of ability. Furthermore, when Killua performs an insane, skill-based Nen precision feat Bisky states that she reached that level of skill 30 years ago. Bisky is absolutely overpowered. Similar to Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, if everyone in the Hunter Association fought without Hatsu, there's a real chance she would be a top 10 Nen user. Debatably, even amongst the top 5, Netero, Jing, and Uvo are the only humans in the anime with a strong argument to be above her in raw physical stats. Everyone else is genuinely debatable, and characters like Uvo and Tsubone likely aren't even in the Hunter Association to begin with. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Bisky is truly an incredible teacher and an immensely powerful character. The entire Hunter x Hunter verse is genuinely lucky that she decided to develop a borderline useless Hatsu ability. It's truly wild to imagine just how powerful she would be if she decided to develop a compatible combat-based ability that pushed her already broken stats even further. Bisky is a transmuter, and she chose a conjuration and possibly manipulation type Hatsu ability. Since Bisky is a treasure hunter and a transmuter similar to Phaeton, maybe she could have had a pain packer type ability as well, where she conjures her own pain packer type armor as powerful as diamonds and produces attack power on par with Rising Sun. Another alternative would be an ability similar to Shalnark. Imagine if Bisky developed a Nen Needle ability in which she could not only one-shot her opponents with a Nen Needle, but she could also enter a Super Saiyan form of her own, going way beyond her already broken physical stats, just like the manipulator Shalnark. That level of power would be genuinely insane. She might become a Jing level fighter if she just developed a Hatsu like that. In my opinion, she has the potential to easily become a top 10 Nen user if she did that, and potentially even a top 5 Nen user. But it's definitely debatable, so let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. That's everything I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see ya on the next one.